Aston Villa are back in Premier League action. We are playing Fulham and we have a considerable amount of injuries to factor in to this match preview. So if you are enjoying all of the content on the channel, be sure to leave a like, subscribe down below. We are well on the road to 2,500 subscribers, which is mental. And comment your thoughts on the Fulham game that is coming up tomorrow. So I think first things first, let's have a little look at our opposition, Fulham. And I've brought their results up on the screen, as you can see right about here. And they have had a bit of a mixed bag of a season. A couple of draws in there, as you can see, to Ipswich and to Fulham. Then they lost to Preston in the EFL Cup, 16-15 on penalties, which almost seems ridiculous. But then they turned their fortunes around with a fantastic victory, really, over Newcastle, 3-1 there. A 1-0 victory over Nottingham Forest, who have been very, very good this season. And then took Man City, really, to the edge in a 3-2 loss at the Etihad. And now they play Villa at Craven Cottage. If we look at our recent results, it's been, again, a bit of a mixed bag in terms of performances, but the results are actually not too bad. We beat Leicester and Everton 2-1 and 3-2, coming from behind in both of those games. 3-0 to Young Boys in the Champions League. 3-1 to Wolverhampton Wanderers in the Premier League, again coming back from behind. 2-1 to Wickham. Then that bit of a dodgy 2-2 draw against Ipswich, but then the magnificent is the only way to describe it, game against Bayern Munich where we won 1-0. And then ultimately a disappointing 0-0 draw against United. But our players are going to be back well rested, you would think, a few of them on international duty. So surely we're coming into this game rejuvenated, revitalised. L'Oreal, you're worth it. No. We're coming into this game light on the ground. Let's go into the predicted lineup and why I've had to do it because of our current injury situation. First of all, the injury situation. What is it? You can see on the screen here, and this isn't actually taking into account another player who's also got injured on international duty and another player that also picked up a knock. I don't know how our luck is this bad, but Onana doubtful with a hamstring injury that he picked up. I think it was against Bayern Munich actually. So he is, maybe going to be involved. 45 minutes, possibly looking like the outlook for him. Ezri Konsa, it doesn't look like he will be back in time. Jacob Ramsey, probably going to be back, and I've had to put him in the starting lineup because we're so thin. But again, doubtful. John McGinn will not be back for the Fulham game as far as I'm aware. Robin Olsen, I didn't even realise he still played for Villa, to be honest with you. Boubacar Kamara and Tyrone Mings have stepped up their recovery, as you can see in my previous video on the channel. But I don't think they're going to be anywhere near ready to start, possibly get 20 minutes here and there. So this, and then also, Jadon Philogene, injured on international duty. He is a doubt for this game. Morgan Rogers also picked up a knock on international duty. Haven't heard any prognoses about him. But that brings me on to my starting lineup, as you can see on the screen. We've had to shuffle a couple of things around. Now, Emi Martinez obviously keeps his place in goal. That one is pretty secure. Now, I've gone for Ian Maatsen at left back. Luca Digne did play for France in the international break and recorded an assist against Yuri Tielemans' Red Devils in Belgium. But he has also just welcomed his third child with his partner or wife. And after an international break where he's had to be playing for France, coming back, having his third child, I wouldn't be surprised if perhaps he gets a rest due to his family commitments and Ian Maatsen comes into the fray, who only played for the Netherlands under-21s. Pau Torres obviously keeps his slot at centre-back, and then Diego Carlos comes in to fill in for the injured Ezri Konsa. Matty Cash keeping his space at right back because we have no one else, although I personally would like to see Kosta Nedeljkovic in there, who did play for the Serbia men's team. Again, he's a regular at right back for them. Jacob Ramsey, hopefully, if he's over his injury concerns, comes back in at left mid. Leon Bailey, who was also a bit doubtful, has been carrying a knock, didn't go away with Jamaica, and there are photos of him training with the Villa squad over this international break, so I'm hoping he will be back to full fitness and sharpness for this game. And then I've gone for Yuri Tielemans and Ross Barkley in the middle, purely because I don't know if Onana will make it, and I don't think Kamara is anywhere near close enough. And then the standard Morgan Rogers and Ollie Watkins up front. Like I say, I haven't heard any prognoses about Morgan Rogers' knock that he picked up for the England under-21s, but you'd have to assume he's going to be fit and play in this game from the outset. What do you think? Comment below. So in terms of this game, what do I think is going to happen? I think it's going to be a close one. I think Fulham are a really, really good side. I think Marco Silva has got them very well drilled. They've got the pace to damage us in the likes of Adama Traore ex-Villa. Boy, they are scoring goals now. They're defensively very, very solid, despite losing Paulinho to Bayern Munich in the summer. And they're going to give us a real challenge. Craven Cottage, it's away from home for us. And, you know, they're a real tricky team to play. I think any team doesn't particularly want to come up against Fulham. And then you factor in the fact that we could be 7 first-team players down, and you realise this is going to be an incredibly difficult game. Now, I'm going to back the boys, back from international break, back from a bad performance against Manchester United. I'm sure Emery's going to want a reaction, and I think we have the quality and the talent to be good enough to get a 1-0 victory. We've kept back-to-back clean sheets for the first time in the season against Bayern Munich and Manchester United. We have the firepower up front in Ollie Watkins, Morgan Rogers and John Jada Duran to get goals, and I think if we can be defensively resolute enough, we'll nick one against Fulham and possibly get all 3 points. Again, I want your comments down below. What do you think is going to happen? We're very light on the ground. Fulham are a very good team. It's a perfect storm for a slip-up in our push for the top 4 again. But I think it's a slip-up we're not going to make. Up the Villa. See you soon.